What's shaking, YouTubenites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the Cover Price Shakers of the Week. This is the last show before Halloween, so we all came in costume, kind of. Jack is just, Jack.
I didn't
is
get
just,
the memo, man.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, I'm not going live on Sunday because it's Halloween. So this is our last show before Halloween, man. So while you guys are congregating, let's get some spooky music, shall we?
Yo,
that exorcist
that straight
music at the
gave
end.
me chills, man.
Yeah,
Goosebumps.
made me want
Real.
That
to
is
pop
crazy.
my collar. Here's
That
the
was
scene
awesome.
from Doctor Strange. Get away
Slap
from
on
it.
the
Get
collar.
over. What's up, everybody? Or shall I say, what's shaking, YouTubenites? Welcome to the Cover Price Shakers of the Week. Sponsored by our friends at CovrPrice. Let me introduce the panel first. I got my man, aka Mr. Bolo. Jack, say what's good to people.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday.
And Chef Boy JB, say what's good to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for the... You know what? They actually got a shot at this list. You guys, this is probably the best shot you've ever had at getting some on a list, because there's some easy ones on here for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of easy, Dark Side Jedi, say what's good to the people.
Hey, Thursday night Shakers list. My favorite of the week. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. This show is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Go to CovrPrice.com, sign up for a 2-week free trial or $6.99 a month. just the price of a McRib starting November 1st. Price guides, collections, and trends. You know what? They typically have, you can get 2 McRibs for $6 when they go on specials. So watch out for that. Show is also sponsored by our friends over at KRSComics.com. Go to KRSComics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off any KRS Comics exclusives. And they have a special Halloween comic coming out Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Would you look at that?
Sexy.
DC versus Vampires.
Bring those vampires back, man. Let's do it.
DC versus Vampires by Warren Liu, Trey Dress, and Virgin. Never looked any better.
You know, there was a time when vampires was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had True Blood. You had all the what was those
Twilight.
Twilights, yeah, you had all that.
Yeah. True Blood first few seasons were really good, and then it just went weird. It just yeah. And plus you got Anna Paquin nudity too, so you know you got that. But yeah. Once again, this is the comic book Shakers of the Week. This list comes from our friends from CovrPrice, focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shakers list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure you check out every day to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. After we count off these 10, they're in alphabetical order. We'll go and see what's shaking today, boys and girls. So shall we get things started, my ghouls and gals? All right, up first, JB.
Are you ready?
We got?
Let's do it. First up on the list, we've got Amazing Spider-Man issue number 106, originally published in 1972. Man, that was a great year from Marvel Comics. Now, this issue features the first time Spider-Man is unmasked. And while that's not really key information, this book sells for huge amounts in 9.8. For example, this week a 9.8 sold for a high sale of $6,928. Now, that's not even the highest. That goes to a sale back in February of this year for $7,877. But due to its age, 9.8s are tough to get. There are only 12 on the CGC census. Amazing Spider-Man is one of the most valuable comic series, so this high premium on a book that sells for about $24 raw, that makes some sense, right?
I get it.
Wow. Really? I mean, 9.8, it's all about the grade. And
yeah, it's a grade play more than it is the book.
Come on, this book is, I'll tell you, I know really well. This book is almost 49 years old. No, it's actually over 49 years old.
Yeah.
I
also think that people are getting it because of the Spider-Man 3 storyline, right? Where they find out he's actually Peter Parker. You know, I mean, I think that's a loose relation to it, you know, sometimes people, but $7,000 for a 9.8, you know, because obviously, you know, from the trailers, we know everybody finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and then he asks Doctor Strange to do some crazy stuff and to forget everybody, to forget him. So I can see how maybe people like specking, hey, you know what, when's the first time we, you know, he's unmasked, or he's, you know, obviously the decades and decades of Peter Parker stories of, we want to talk about the whole Mephisto thing where they retconned everything and, you know, with him and MJ, but still amazing that Spider-Man issue 106 for $7,000 for a 9.8.
Wow.
Look at that. All right, what's up next on the list? This quite possibly it could be an offer.
Beavis and Butthead, bro. It's number one. And this is the second print from 1994. Here is another nostalgia-based book for you. In the 90s, Beavis and Butthead were immensely popular. I can speak for that myself. I would stay up very late to watch them. So much so that even had their own feature film, Beavis and Butthead Do America, which opened as the number one film back in December of 1996. With the duo returning in a new feature film on Paramount Plus, they're suddenly relevant again. With all these factors, their first comic book is trending. Specifically, this Red Glove second print hit a new high sale of $325 for a CGC 9.8. Many sellers list this as an error since the first print had a pink glove. However, since it affected the entire line, it's not really a major manufacturing mishap. Regardless, it is harder to find than the more common first print. There are definitely out there, so keep a lookout for the Red Glove when digging in them long boxes.
So I'm old enough to remember when Beavis and Butthead was on MTV, and they used to do like a Mystery Theater 3000 where they talked about the music videos, right? And they would make fun
Phenomenal.
of them.
I mean, you can find those
trivia.
on YouTube.
Here's a trivia in the live chat. So each of them had a T-shirt, right? One was Metallica, and one was, I think was AC/DC. Do you remember the little dorky kid that came out?
Stewart.
What T-shirt was he wearing? What band was on that shirt? You know the character I'm talking about, right?
She's only 17.
Yeah. He had this like whack ass, he was like there you go, uncanny swag. You get a Marvel No Prize. It was Winger. There you go. Man,
Winger.
I love our group.
Dude, this chat is
our
awesome,
live chat,
man.
You
the
guys
live
are
chat's
awesome, man. All right. So Beavis and Butthead, number 1, the second print from March 1994 for a cool 325 Bolines. All right. What do we got for number 3? I think this is going to be another offer.
Yeah, we're kicking it back a little old school here. We're talking about Dynamic Comics number 11 from Chesler Dynamic in 1944. And when it comes to pre-code horror, another prolific artist during this time frame was Gus Rica. His influence on early comics is immense. He provided artwork for books like Haunted Horror, Dynamic Comics, and Punch Comics. In fact, his cover for Punch Comics number 12 is one of the most in-demand pre-code horror books. It's always in any top 10 most valuable PCH list. As books from this time period gain more popularity, the market moves like a wave across an artist's like Gus Rica's covers and lifts the market values across those as well. His Dr. Doom cover for Dynamic Comics number 11 is one of those which had sold for a new high raw sale of $3,011.
Wow.
Gus' last work was in 1950, and he died a few years later in 1956, which was just 2 years after Seduction of the Innocent and the formation of the Comics Code.
Wow. That Punch Comics cover is one of my favorite covers of all time.
This would be the comic to show off for Halloween comic covers. Look at that.
I would buy this book specifically for that.
I would make that as a T-shirt, dude. That is dope.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, ushering in the skull covers there.
Yeah. So Dynamic Comics number 11 from Chesler Dynamic, 1944. Love these horror. We can't have a cover price list without some type of horror books. And, it's good. It's good to see that horror books are making a resurgence. I mean, I don't know if, they ever went away, but there is definitely a market of people.
I always love seeing non-hero books get on the list because that's all we see. We're inundated with hero books. So when the non-hero books get on the list, it's always fun.
Yeah. So Dynamic Comics number 11 from 1944, raw $3,000. Good.
I wonder what the raw grade was.
Jeez. All right, next, what do we got up next?
All right, next up on the list, we've got G.I. Joe Special number 1 from 1995. Now, this is a great story. Lately, the market has been favoring Todd McFarlane covers. Now, this is especially the case for any book outside of Spawn and Spider-Man, which are already pricey. Now, this particular G.I. Joe book, this particular G.I. Joe Special reprints issue number 61 and was released 2 months after the core series ended with issue 155. Okay. Aside from a great cover, what makes this book interesting is how Marvel replaced the interior artwork with unpublished artwork from Todd McFarlane. So, let me tell you how it goes. Back in 1987, McFarlane, an inexperienced new comic artist, drew this issue number 61, but was ultimately rejected as his artwork was deemed unusable. Marvel instead brought in veteran Marshall Rogers to redo the issue. However, by the end of the G.I. Joe series in 1994, McFarlane was a full-blown comic book superstar, and Marvel saw the value in reprinting the issue as originally planned. So, not so unusable as it turns out, right? Now, with his name on the book, many tend to think that this is also a McFarlane cover, but it's not. Artist Phil Gossier created this on-point homage to Todd's Spider-Man number 1. Overall, it's a cool book for McFarlane fans just on overall history of the book alone, And now it's highly valuable collectible as it hit a new high sale of $992 for a CGC 9.8.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. I
Jesse
want
Bell
one now.
brings up an interesting thing because I was noticing it too, man. The hand holding the knife looks a little anatomically weird to me, like the fingers and you know what I mean. That there's always things about posing on comics, but man, that hand is he's a ninja though, so who knows, man? Maybe he's got some ninja tricks we don't know about. He could do with his fingers. So G.I. Joe Special #1 from February 1995. Almost a cool grand for a 9.8. Man, who would have thunk it? All right, what do we got up next?
Here is Miss Marvel #1. This is the, get ready for it, 7th print from back in 2014. We've gotten all the way down to the 7th print, everybody. We cover this subsequent printing for Miss Marvel #1 frequently, but they simply keep hitting new highs. A trailer for Disney Plus's Miss Marvel series is just around the corner, and now it's time to pick up a copy. However, prices are already pretty darn high for many of them. The 7th print hit a new high sale of $750 for a CGC 9.8. Crazy. I mean, who bought a 7th print?
That's crazy. So yeah, who bought a 7th print? That's nuts.
Well, I mean, that's all the rage now. You know what I mean? I mean, this is back in when Marvel just used to do different colors to do for the different printings, right? I mean, now the thing that Marvel does is when they do a reprint, they actually take like a splash page or a panel from the previous issue and put it on the cover. But back in the day, I mean, even way before this, if you think about in the maybe 80s and 90s, like, First Silver, I'm trying to think, First Silver Sable and some other issues, the second printings were simply a different color. Nowadays, second printing, they get a totally different cover artist, and some of those actually outsell the first print, so, but damn, 7th.
But what's cool about this one is this one wasn't driven actually as much by the collector base as it was readership. The initial readership for the the print runs were low, and this is a book that just gained momentum as time went by, and now has become kind of like one of the modern staples for Marvel. It's so much so that it's like there's like colleges have included the trade as part of like programs and things like that. So this one was like a special book.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's expensive now? Wait till the trailer or the show drops, right? I mean, all of us are safe to say close to being middle-aged men. Miss Marvel may not be your cup of tea, but there is a whole swath of young people, young girls that love Miss Marvel and the characters because. It's just like everything else, man. TV shows, there's some for kids, there's some for teenagers, some for YA, there's some for adults. And, you got, a little bit of everything. But it's good to see Miss Marvel getting on there. Man, my guess is that on Disney Plus Day in, November 12th, that we're going to see probably our first trailer for it because they've been shooting it for a while now. I mean, there's been set photos, so fully expect to see Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, whatever else they're working on and some other announcements. So it's going to be huge. They're going to say, hey, hello, DC fandom. Hey, look at what we're going to do here. So there you go. Miss Marvel #1.
Do you think that the days of the 7th print are over? I mean, we just had an announcement from Image they're not even going to be doing 2nd or 3rd prints anymore. They're done.
I think that was due to some paper shortage and all the shipping and everything. But I mean,
if you look at to be temporary. But.
Yeah, it's temporary. I mean, look at something that's killing the children. These independent comics that have all these crazy multiple printings, right? I mean, it's going back to the cash. It's going back to the bank, right? I mean, why not? Especially now in this heightened state of collectorism. Can I say that? Collectorism? I just did. That collectors look and seek out 7th, multiple prints because, it's just
what was the first book to get a multiple printing, I wonder?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
That'd be a good trivia question.
That's a great trivia question.
Yeah. It was in the late 80s, I want to say, maybe early 90s that, they started doing second printings, maybe even sooner. Who knows? In the live chat, somebody spew it out if you got.
It depends on, too, what you call a second printing because they also, like, reprinted books under different titles, like where you had, Like,
no,
Exactly,
I mean,
or what about
like,
X-Men? Didn't X-Men
yeah.
reprint all their stories with different
Yeah.
covers?
Oh, yeah. Then you had classic X-Men and
no, I don't mean it. I don't mean the reprints. I mean like
straight up
Full-blown
second
second
print.
straight up
print.
second
yeah.
print. Like
Because
it's
the
the same
reprint is
cover.
different than a seventh. Yeah,
It just says, it was
Well, I remember
printed.
Star Wars having the reprint word sitting on the side. I mean, that's
yeah.
second
There you
print.
go. There was a Star Wars reprint as well, so it goes back pretty far. I mean, obviously, it started out of necessity, right? Where it sold out, and they're like, well, how can we get people to read more comics? Well, let's just reprint it so people can, have a copy to read. Nowadays there's multiple ways to consume comic books, so printings are, people still get them though, especially if it's a hot book, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think as the prints get higher, like second, third, fourth print, the print runs are lower, right? I don't think they make a seventh print that's a huge run as they are. I mean, it's funny, like nowadays in your LCS, you go there and then it's like, they say second printing already, and sometimes they announce a second printing before the first print even comes out because of pre-sales and demand for it. So it's just capitalism 101. Get that money, son. So Miss Marvel, issue number 1, the 7th print from 2014 for $750 and a 9.8. All right, let's get some splash on here.
Yeah, now we're talking point 1, but we're not talking Miss Marvel. This is point 1, number 1, the Nick Bradshaw black and white 1 in 100 variant that Marvel put out in 2011. This one's all about Nova because Nova rumors have been circulating for years. They specifically focus on Marvel bringing both Richard Rider and Sam Alexander into the MCU in the near future. While we haven't received any formal news, Sam's first appearance in this point 1 issue continues to increase in value. This very rare, hard to find 1 in 100 made a rare appearance this week on eBay and sold for a new high raw sale of $828. The color version of this cover is a little more accessible at a raw fair market value of $40. That might be a good book to jump into.
Do you get a half a point if you have the color version?
I know. I got the color version too.
Yeah, 1 in 100 for a point 1. I mean, I remember when the point 1s came out, nobody really cared, and then they realized, there are some first appearance or previews in there, and so now,
it took us a while to catch up, right?
Yeah, it did. Because nobody really cared, and then next thing you know, boom, hey, by the way, there's a gold in them there hills. Speaking of gold. Halfway through the show, let's take a little 30-second break to introduce our new sponsor, MySlabs.com. Are you tired of paying eBay fees? Well, check out MySlabs.com.
Tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now, slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
Yep, if you're tired of paying for fees, let alone auction fees from auction houses and everything else, you can get your NFTs, trading cards, sealed wax, slabs. To go check out friends at MySlabs.com, man, and see all the stuff that they got. They're doing good things over there. All right, so we go from point 1, Nick Bradshaw, black and white, 1 in 100, to I think a good chance for everybody to get on the board, maybe.
Oh yeah, you got a shot, right? Everybody's got this one. The Punisher number 1, newsstand though, from 1987, Marvel Comics. And as we noted, the first series of today's hottest characters are seeing significant increases as collectors are priced out of their first key appearances. Well, this trend has continued on to old Marvel staples like the Punisher. The first issue is in his ongoing series has been long undervalued. Though that's quickly changing as seen by this week's newsstand sale for $750 for a CGC 9.8. This destroys the last sale of only $387 back in August. So clearly, these market corrections are moving fast. It's definitely time to look at every first Marvel core series, especially for those characters in the 80s. The end of bronze leading into the neon age? Yeah, we made that up. Come on, you got this. Anybody? Bueller?
I do not. I have, I think, 2, 3, and 4, but not this one.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got this. No?
I don't know.
What's the chat
Did we
got to
lose
say?
Tim?
Let's take a look over at the chat. Shout out to everybody who's joining us live here tonight on Thursday night. We got one of the best chats going. TiVo's back. I can't hear him. Maybe he doesn't know he's
can
muted.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
We haven't heard a
okay,
word
yeah.
you said.
No, I was just saying, back in, it was, I don't know if it was this series or if it was another series where it said first of a 1 and 4 miniseries, and then they end up making 5 of it. Was it The Punisher, or was it, what was that? The other series? It was a miniseries.
Yeah. That was a miniseries.
It was
It
the
might be this
Punisher
one.
miniseries. This is the Unlimited, but there was a Punisher miniseries. When it first came out, it said 1 of 4, but they end up making 5 issues of it. So, that's it's look it up. It's really weird because you think you have all 4, but there's actually 5. But this is the ongoing Punisher series. But there was a Punisher limited series before this that was 5 issues. But on the first issue, it says. First 1 of 4. It said 1 of 4. Yeah. So sorry if I timed out there, man. I got a continuous ping on my servers downstairs because of some outages I've been dealing with. So I need to monitor it for those IT folks who know what ping IP address -T means. So, all right, Punisher issue number 1, the newsstand from July 1987, $750, man. I meant when Feige finally says I'm doing the Punisher, man, it's gonna be. ASM 129 is the first appearance, I do believe. Yeah, that's already out of the stratosphere. But, people are starting to look at the other ones that he's appeared in, and that perfectly segues into the next book.
Yeah, while we're on the Punisher, here's Punisher War Journal number 1, the newsstand, back in 1988. Many 90s collectors knew the Punisher War Journal just as well as the core series. It was this series where Frank Castle teamed up and interacted with other big-name Marvel characters of the time. So on the heels of the Punisher number 1's new high sale, War Journal also had a new high sale of $500 for a CGC 9.8. Is this a Jim Lee?
No, this is Will Spertasio, I believe.
Okay.
From looking at the face, I
Did Jim Lee work on War Journal?
Yes, he did. At one point, he did work on it. But for you kids, man, in 1988, there was a time when the Punisher was just as popular as Wolverine. I mean, it was huge, right? Punisher just came on the scene from the miniseries to his own solo series. And Punisher, when a character gets more than one ongoing series, then that character is hot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing to me that it took so long for Wolverine to get his own ongoing series, if you think about it, right? But in 1988, man, Punisher he was everywhere, even though they really made some questionable movies for the Punisher. But we shall see when it does finally get announced by Kevin Feige. I hope they bring back Bernthal. The pure rage that Bernthal shows with that, I mean, just his raw scream. And the one episode where they timed up the bullets with the music is absolutely incredible in the Netflix series. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The scene he's going through shooting and it goes through the sound of music. It's pretty cool, man, the way it's edited together. So Punisher War Journal, issue number 1, the newsstand from 1988. All right, we go from a possible one to maybe not. I think you got a good chance on this one too if you're a Sandman fan.
Yeah, we're talking Sandman number 10 from DC in 1989. Are you still looking for a Halloween costume ideas that will scare the crap out of the kids? Well, Sandman number 10 is packed full of horrific nightmare monster ideas for you. Look no further than the grotesque Brute the Glob or the teethy-eyed Corinthian. The nightmares Neil Gaiman brings to life in these pages. Brute the Glob first appeared in Jack Kirby's Sandman number 1 from 1974, and they reappear here in the beginning of the Dollhouse story arc. They are nightmares gone wild, originally created by Morpheus, but they take over the dreaming dimension while Morpheus is imprisoned by the Roderick Burgess. This issue also appears the first This issue also features the first appearance of the Desire and Despair, 2 more of the 7 Endless, and it includes the first appearance of Fiddler's Green and Rose Walker. As news of the Sandman Netflix series accelerates, this book, with its many first appearances, is catching fire. A 9.8 sold for $749, shattering the previous high of $549 set in July, and the previous high of $575 from 2020. Among the key Sandman books, number 10 has been a bit of a sleeper, wink, but it seems to be becoming a big book, like number 1, number 4, and number 8 of the run.
Yeah, so I am really stoked for the Sandman series. I'm a huge Neil Gaiman fan, from his novels to his comic books, and they have a stellar cast for this. Hopefully Netflix has patience with it, and you know how they just do one season and they just pull it and they don't tell the entire story. But man, and it's interesting how this is actually a DC property, but it ended up on Netflix because I think Netflix had the rights to it like so long ago. It's been in development for like a really long time. And so before HBO Max came about, Netflix had the rights to it. And so, because you got to think, man, this would be perfect for HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
But it's been in long development, and it's finally coming through. And I cannot wait for it. If you like kind of dark stories and mythos, it is truly great. Yeah, Mythos. Shout out to Otto. It is truly great storytelling by Neil Gaiman, who is one of the few people who are novelists who also don't poo-poo on comic books. You know how some writers are like, comic books are for kids. Well, no, Neil Gaiman dabbles in both, and he does it great. You know what I mean? So Sandman, issue number 10 from 1989, for all those weird characters that Jack just said, the bloob, the blob, the glob, whatever he just said. Yeah, I don't even know who the hell that is, but I'm looking forward to it, man. All right, last one on the list, but don't go away because we're going to see what's shaking today. What do we got for the last one?
All right, the final one on our list tonight is Thor, God of Thunder, number 5, the R.M. Guara 1 in 50 variant. Originally published in 2013 from Marvel Comics. Now with Gore the God Butcher's first appearance in Thor God of Thunder number 2, the Daniel Acuna 1 in 50 variant is already super pricey. However, this R.M. Guara 1 in 50 variant for issue 5 is trying to catch up with this week's high sale of $699 for a CGC 9.8. Now issue number 5 features the origin of Gore, which will most likely play out on screen. The first 5 issues of this series all have fantastic 1 in 50 variants and are definitely worth picking up. The second appearance of Gore in issue number 4 has a fantastic Olivier Coipel 1 in 50 that's reasonably priced and sold for about $115 at a 9.8 2 weeks ago, though current listed prices are much higher. Man,
yeah, this entire run is just a great read, man. Just a fantastic read, and and just
and it's only 25 issues.
Christian Bale being Gore the God Butcher. I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me. So, can't wait to see that trailer too, because I know they're in the middle of filming right now. They got so much stuff coming up, but man. Gore the God Butcher, man, if they do it, there's so much they can bring into it. We already know Zeus is going to be in it. So, hey, Hercules is right around the corner and all that good stuff. So, Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 5, the 1 in 50 variant. I'm not even going to try to say that last name. Giada?
That's probably how
there's a little thing on the E there.
Yeah.
So, let's go see what's shaking today, boys and girls, on the CovrPrice.com Shakers list. Yeah, I got it.
I just
while
added
you're working on that,
bucks.
man, shout out to that chat tonight, man. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you do hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the show. We're going to go hit the list. Make sure you get yourself a full subscription so it unlocks the entire list, because this thing is changing every single day.
Let's see what's shaking today, go boys and ghouls and gals.
You are showing off, dude. You are just showing off.
Hey, what?
I mean, the first one's got to be Mystic the Destroyer. Come on. Yeah. Check that one out.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. Amazing.
The sensational fighter of dictators, the mighty destroyer. This
With
is
two
Mystic
on all
Comics issue
sides.
number 8 from 1942. Key comic, classic cover, a raw comic, $3,500, man. But look at this thing, man.
Cool.
That's
It's
awesome.
just, I mean, you got the Nazi right there. You got looks to be an Iron Maiden, right? The little torture thing that they got there. It very much resembles Drax the Destroyer from the early Marvel
Right.
comics, right?
Yeah.
If you think about Drax and the skull, who knows? Maybe they use this as a reference for it. But damn, tell me that doesn't look like Drax the Destroyer, especially when he had the skull on his chest. But that it's for Marvel, so who knows? Maybe they did. So this is,
It was the Mighty Destroyer. They just kind
the
of
Mighty Destroyer, yeah. Walking Dead. Hey, look at this. Come on, man.
America's greatest.
Yeah, we got to go with a little Shazam there. My man's
the
got a
human
torpedo
bullet.
head. This is America's Greatest Comics issue number 1.
Who's
Raw
the guy
comics
with
over
the
2,400.
with the
who's the guy
flag
from the
t-shirt.
80s? Yeah.
Yeah, with the flag t-shirt.
I was talking to my man with the bullet head over there.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at that.
Bullet Man.
Yeah, Bullet Man, Minute Man, Spy Smasher, and Mr. Scarlet. Wow. Wow. So did I tell you guys, the story? I went to movie trivia, and we went to see Frankenweenie, and they had like movie trivia before it. And the guy asked, which character appeared in the comics first, Captain Marvel or Daredevil? The geek in me was like, Captain Marvel, but then I was like, I know what he's going for. And sure enough, they said Daredevil, and I was gonna come with it. I said, you knew to know Shazam was called Captain Marvel, and he appeared in. Anyway,
They try to bury that. You talked about that Punisher book. Check that one out.
Which one?
The Punisher book, 129.
Oh yeah, yeah, 2,500 for a 7.0. So glad.
I had one go through my hands for a little period of time.
I traded mine. I traded mine for a Strange Tales 110, and I'm happy about it. You know what I mean?
That's a good trade.
I got my first appearance of Doctor Strange for it, so you know what? I'm good. Let's look at this Star Wars book, man. What is this? Star Wars Jedi versus Sith number 1. Look at that. First appearance of Darth Bane. Not in canon because it's a Dark Horse comic, but it doesn't stop people. 1,800 for a 9.8. Yo. Those Star Wars people, man, you guys are crazy. Shout out to Justin.
Crazy.
Here we go. One of my favorite DC characters, man, the Spectre.
Yeah, such a cool
menacing in this picture.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, he just posted up.
Yeah, he's just posted up.
Man.
More Fun Comics issue number 64. Raw comics sold for $1,200, man. Those early Golden Age like Dr. Fate, the Spectre, Green Lantern. Those are just great comics. This is DC too from 1941. Man, look at that. Look at Ant-Man getting some love here. I was just talking about it. More Fun Comics, and there is it's the aforementioned Dr. Fate. Kind of wasting his powers there, just trying to save a pilot when he's like one of the most powerful magic beings in the universe.
Maybe fate. Maybe fate. It wasn't his fate to die, right?
So this is interesting. A graded 0.0 sold for
What is that?
$1,000.
I've never heard of a graded 0.0.
Yeah, that should be. I need to look that up and see. Graded 0.0. Man, you went 0 for big time on that one. Department
Freak
of Truth.
Brothers. Yes.
The Fabulous Freak Brothers.
Yes.
Oh man,
This is my kind of
Look
book
at
right
these
here.
hippies. These
Love
are
it.
great.
Further adventures of the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. This was alternative comics, really alternative comics from 1972 when just rampant, drug use, and I always think about that guy Crumb, and he was doing those weird books too. But look at this. Look at these multiple printings
There
from
you go.
1971. That's kind of
12th
crazy.
printing. Holy moly.
Well, look at it's all the prices are all different if you notice.
16th printing.
So they probably throughout the years that they reprinted it. Yeah. So 2003 they did it again for $4.95. So throughout the years they just.
But it's cool if you just look at all the prices. It's 60 cents and then 75, $1. Inflation, man,
60.
damn.
Inflation. There's the inflation in comic books right before your eyes,
75.
year to year.
$1, $1.25, $2, $3, and $4.95. Yeah, man.
Wow,
Keeps
look at
on
that jump. Boom.
Yeah. Keeps on going, man. We've done enough Ultimate Fallout. Look at that. It's Venomverse book. I love this cover, by the way. This is the Todd McFarlane remastered, which he hated, by the way, because it was basically Todd McFarlane, an internal art that he did originally, and then Marvel made a cover for it. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's what it's a Todd McFarlane remastered. But this is the black and white Venomverse #1. $5.85 for a raw comic. I'm telling you, just anything Todd McFarlane right now is just...
Is that one of the ones he won't sign? Because I know there's a couple of books Todd's like, I'm not going to sign these.
Yeah, he doesn't want to sign the remastered variant.
And then there's another one that like he gave away as a special gift or something. And if he, he's like, if that comes around, I'm not signing that. It's supposed to be a gift.
Yeah, Todd is full of himself, to say the least. Here we go. Here we get some Blue Beetle love for you.
I love that.
Crisis and Infinite Earths, #5. First appearance of Blue Beetle, the new Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, the first Latino superhero. Wink, wink. $550 for a 9.8. Wow. We'll see.
That was yesterday too.
Comes. Wow. Yeah, man.
I have issue #3, which I think is first Jaime Reyes, but not as Blue Beetle.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I think the market's going towards this one.
I do believe this Elseworlds is an error variant, if I'm correct.
This is the baby in a blender. Or baby in a microwave book. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We had this on our list before. So this is the Elseworlds 80-page giant. Somebody just bought it yesterday for $520. Maybe this is our show, but who knows?
Wow.
But,
sickos.
Look at the luscious lips of Batman and Robin. This is all I got to say. There's puckered lips syndrome on that. Yeah.
It's not Robin.
Is that Robin?
Oh, look at that book.
The Ascent of Tony Harris Red Arm Spotlight variant. Did they ever explain why he had a red arm in the films? I'm trying to remember.
Yes,
if they ever did. What was it?
I don't think it was in the films. It was in this comic. This run, like a 6-issue run. They explain it.
Yeah. Oh my! $500 for 9.8. Man. I got to go look up my old Marvel Droids comic and see.
Oh, Invincible #1. That looks familiar.
Speaking of which, our man Jack can speak to this. This is the Tyler Kirkham Whatnot color reprint, limited to 1,500. What can you tell us about this, Jack?
Yeah, that's first of a 5-book series right there. So yeah, we're Whatnot going deep with the Invincible run, and it was originally released via a pack break with Sean Big Clutch Kirkham on the Comics Vault Live Whatnot account. And it's really only probably a third of the copies have been kind of like released to the public. So there'll still be more opportunities to get copies of that book.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for mine. Is it
absolutely?
All right.
He's like, it's in the mail.
So, interesting enough, the guy that you were mentioning is not related to
Tyler or Robert. Yeah,
exactly. And because I was thinking he works for Invincible. His name is Kirkham, but he's not related to Robert Kirkman. It's right. It's really interesting actually. Because I totally thought he's related. I was like, no, he's not related to him. But it was like, okay, go figure. Can't have Halloween show without giant-sized chillers. Number one. Look at that I'm going to say somebody bought this for Halloween comic covers, but you may have, I don't know if you got it.
That's a crazy investment for Halloween comic covers.
Yeah,
$440 for a 9.2. But look at that. I love these horror books from the Bronze Age, man.
Man, a monster. Look at that. She's screwed. She's running towards the friggin' some monster hiding behind a trash can.
Well, what are you gonna do? You got the tentacle monster behind you, and
that's
then you
what
got
I'm
this
saying.
other guy.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, frightful, fearful. First issue, closer, just come a little step closer. Good old monster books, man. A lot of Spider-Man on here, I see, because the trailer supposedly is supposed to drop sooner than later. Here's a good one, man.
Oh,
Batman 655, the Kubert 1 in 10 variant. Look how gorgeous that is.
It's pretty.
First appearance of Damian Wayne, $411 for a 9.8.
I still think that's an underrated book.
Yeah.
Agreed.
When do you think we're going to see him in Titans? Do you think he's going to appear in Titans?
Oh, I would love it. But they're just starting with
Tim Drake.
So yeah, probably not for a minute.
Yeah. The season finale happened. It was pretty good, man.
I liked it. That was a good show.
Here's we were talking about Warlock. I got one of those too. Was number 6.5, so for $405. That seems rather cheap to me, man.
It seems reasonable.
Let's go back to this, man. Some more horror books.
I like this one.
Oh, look at that.
First appearance of Talia
Al Ghul. $405 for a raw comic.
Wow.
They gotta bring her back, right? I mean, because Nolan's.
They got to do
Batman.
her the right way, not.
Yeah.
I mean, Talia needs to be Talia.
Yeah.
It could be so good.
Yeah, we shall see what the Batman. Star Spangled War, always a favorite on here is War Comics.
Who doesn't like shooting a dinosaur in the face?
Yeah, issue number 130. The GI burned with a single blazing thought. You owe me a death. You owe me a death. Yours. Oh, I didn't even see the little, punctuation is everything when you're reading stuff. Hey, look at this.
Hey,
Batman versus Predator. Do you remember these back in the day? 1991, the crossovers. $345 for 9.8. There's. I was told a story at one point. Predator #1, the platinum cover was like a wall book at my LCS. It was like $50 because back in the 90s, put platinum on something, everybody was going to want to buy it. You know what I mean? Usual Suspects, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is coming.
What is that? House of Slaughter, man.
Look at this, man.
Yeah.
What is that?
This.
Mike
this
Del
is
Mundo.
House of Slaughter.
Oh man, I saw one of these sell yesterday. I think
Mike Del Mundo Virgin 1 in 500, $265 for raw.
Wow.
So this is the House of Slaughter is a spinoff from Something Is Killing the Children, correct?
correct.
Because
Got it right here. I just read it actually before we came on the show.
Yeah. Look at all these gnarly covers, man. There are some great covers, I gotta admit, for Something Is Killing the Children. So it keeps on going. Hey, look at this. Boom.
Oh,
Marvel Secret Wars number 10.
What books?
For 9.8.
What books aren't going to be key? They're all going to be. Hot.
This is just a classic cover, though. I mean,
I need 1. I need 3. I need 8. I need 10 now. I need 12.
All of them, man.
I only need 1.
You know why? They all make a
3D.
giant. Yeah, just get them all, man. Just if you don't, we won't get FOMO if you get them all.
That's right.
We haven't talked about Jane Foster in a while. Lady Hulk action. Look at this gorgeous cover by Esad Ribic.
He does some amazing stuff. Yes,
he does, man. $250 for a 9.4.
And he does the art for that entire Thor run, not this one,
Yeah.
but the other one. And it's only 25 issues. I recommend it. That God Butcher storyline is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then it ties right into this one at the end. And it goes right into that
Ghost Tank? No, this isn't Ghost Tank.
No,
this is the Haunted Tank. Yeah, it is. But it's not the first appearance, but this is the GI Combat. The only DC presents the Haunted Tank. I remember the Haunted Tank runs, man. $245 for 7.5. So you got War Comics as well as Supernatural. It's a Haunted Tank. It's a Haunted Tank, boys and girls. Come on. It's a Haunted Tank. How cool is that? Look at this one. So introducing Piecemeal. $250 for a 9.8. This is Incredible Hulk number 407. Does something know something that we don't? That looks like some crazy version of Hulk with a tail and robotic arms and different legs.
He-Man pants.
Yeah, he's gonna say he's got He-Man or Thunder the Barbarian.
Speaking of which, did you guys see the He-Man Revelations Part 2 trailer?
I have not seen it.
It looks incredibly off. It looks off the hook because people were complaining.
Good.
I'm not getting enough He-Man. Well, in the news Part 2, because you can always tell. Let them finish the story first, and they show He-Man just. I guess, for lack of a better term, he was hulking out and just rage. Almost done, boys and girls. Invincible number 50. Look at this cover. The David Williams connecting cover. That's absolutely gorgeous right there. $238.50 for a 9.4. That I can't wait for season 2 of Invincible. It was so well done.
Go to
I
the
think
next
some
cover
people,
real quick. I just want to see what the
Invincible?
connecting ones were. It's got to be the next issue, right?
The next issue, yeah. Index over the next issue.
No.
No.
I wonder what the connecting cover is then. What's the other part?
Yeah.
Maybe it wraps around the back.
What the hell was it connected to? We'll never know. It's a
We'll
mystery.
never
Brian.
know.
All right. Yeah, man. That is it. A little jug action. This Spider-Man book. So that's it for the
Shakers list, ladies and gentlemen.
that is
That's it for the
Shakers list. For the last Lord show before Halloween,
Halloween.
man, Chef Boyardee in the house gonna whip something up. Just
Chef
looking
Boy
at
JB.
JB makes me hungry. Oh,
There you go.
Hold on a second
There you
here.
go.
As he shows off, this is the gold foil variant.
Are you showing off my
that's
book?
that
I
foil.
thought you said you sent that in the mail already.
Yeah, I'll be emailing you my address.
Listen. They got the warehouse has a list. They're working.
There you go. There's
All
a
right.
list.
All right. Just make sure they send me a 9.9. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
I need a 10.
You know,
I need a 10.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Send me 2. If you can. All right. Shout out to everybody who's still hanging out with us. 130 of you watching. Appreciate you on your Thursday night when you can watch whatever else.
Football.
We appreciate you hanging out with us. I am exhausted. I will see you guys Tuesday because I've done 3 shows straight in a row. I am mentally exhausted. I'm just going to relax this weekend.
Sounds fun.
Can't get ready for Halloween. I hope I get trick or
I
treat.
think I'm going to go to Apple Orchard, get some donuts, get some apple cider.
That was really
this weekend.
I was really not expecting that. You were going to Apple Orchard to get cider.
Why not?
Okay. All right.
Sounds good to me, right? That's a
All
nice
right.
fall thing to do in Michigan, no?
Yeah. Dark Side Jedi.
Yeah,
Any
absolutely.
last words?
Yeah, join me tomorrow. I'm going to be on the 3 Men in the Basement channel. I got 15 books sent back to me by CGC. So I'm going to go through those books and show them off. I got some pretty awesome grades. I'm really excited about it. Added them into my cover price already. And I'm glad it was nice to see the little jump of adding those books into my collection.
Nice.
I saw Nemesis Prime in the chat. Go check out his Whatnot sale in about 10 minutes. 5 minutes now, probably. And thanks for joining us. Thursday nights are so much fun. I love them. So thank you.
You're muted, TiVo.
Chef Boyardee, any last words?
Again, shout out to the chat. You know, you guys are great. We do this show for you guys. Thanks for showing up and watching. And everybody who was watching on the rewind, appreciate you taking the time. And you watched to the end. So if you haven't already, make sure you do hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You maybe even hit the bell so you don't miss. Because if you missed last night's show, TiVo and Mikey Sutton killed it. It was just unbelievable. Go back and watch it on the rewind if you haven't already. And
Mutants are coming.
And I did it. I'm live 5 days a week now on my channel, Discovery Bay Comics, and we're 5 days a week in the morning, 6 a.m. ish, because I'm always late, and I'm just kind of doing a little podcast that gets released on Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcast. So look for it. It's called Nerd News Today with Disco Bay. That's me, and I do 6 topics, 3-minute timer. Check it out. Appreciate it.
All right, let me address Breezy Ballistic right now. Tyler Heineke is killing me with not knowing the slide rule. Okay, if you slide forward, you're down upon as soon as you hit the ground. You could have touchdown. I don't know. That's my Sundays anyway. Shout out to Superman Comics, who is a fellow Skins fan that we just probably yell at the TV every Sunday. But
Saturday's the
Jack,
Michigan State game.
Yeah. Check me out tomorrow. Actually, if you're home during the day. Or on that rewind, I will be moderating a panel for the Skybound Halloween Expo tomorrow. I think it's 11:55 Pacific time. A cool crossover panel between comics and kick collecting. So all my sneakerheads out there will have a great panel of sneakerheads who happen to all be comic book collectors. And I will tell you, I'll throw out a little be on the lookout for all my Walking Dead comic fans. This hardcover just came out with the very first comic art of Daryl Dixon. David Finch did this in the same. That's the same variant style as those second print Walking Dead Deluxes.
Wow.
This is the I think. This is a Skybound exclusive edition. So there's got a few different covers. So definitely keep an eye out for this one if you can get your hands on it. That's first comic art there of Daryl Dixon.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that's Daryl, the actual guy, drew that.
Yeah, David Finch drew that. That's David Finch cover.
Oh no, I thought you meant Daryl Dixon is the one that actually did the art, but it's just the Daryl depiction. Yeah, because that's dope. David Finch. Yeah. All right, so check out is that Skybound on YouTube? Yep. Is that on their YouTube channel? Yeah, so check out YouTube,
Facebook, Twitch. It'll be on all their platforms.
So about noon Eastern?
Yep.
Or noon Pacific?
Oh no, it's like I think it's 11:55 Pacific.
All right, go check out Jack on the YouTubes there, and we will see you guys. I will see you Tuesday. I am taking a much needed.
I'll see you tomorrow if you join us.
Weekend break, and I'd be just happy to hand out candies.
Just relax.
To the kids.
Take naps.
Last year was a bit of a letdown because of the pandemic. But then on the plus side, we ate a lot of candy because we had a lot left over. But hey. Happy Halloween, everybody. Stay safe out there. And until Tuesday, for Jack the Mail, Chef JB, Darkside Jet, this is Tivo telling you happy Halloween and keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Bye.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is faithful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back! Word up! Here's to what y'all! You can't get fresher than this! In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind. When it comes, I won't even notice.
Oh, how so?